So I'm here in Los Angeles right now. That's Beverly Hills behind me, Sunset Boulevard. And it's funny, every time I think about LA, I think about identity. And I firmly believe in keeping your identity small. And to me, identity is anything that you feel strongly enough to believe. So people can have identities about lots of things. Religion, politics, what type of editing software to use, what type of cameras, what's the best car. You know, there could be a Ford over a Chevy person, Republican over conservative. But it's when an opinion stops becoming an opinion and becomes a belief system. That's what your identity is. And you can find there's like specific identities, you know, general topics that become identities more easily, like religion or politics, and more localized domain fields like, you know, Final Cut Pro versus Adobe Premiere. But all in all, identity is what always devolves into arguments. That whenever you reach a topic that you find yourself feeling strongly about, or you're having a conversation with somebody else you feel strongly about, and it devolves into an argument when it otherwise shouldn't on paper, it probably means you're arguing with their identity on some level, or they're arguing with your identity on some level. And the goal is to not place yourself in opposition to X, like a person, or an idea, Y. Like, do not base your identity around opposition to someone or a belief system. Because, you know, a good example, for instance, is like, you can debate politics about like, the Bronze Age and have a relatively calm and level-headed conversation with anybody. But that's because it's politics. It hasn't become an identity. Nobody has their identity based around politics in the Bronze Age. But people do have their identity based around politics between Israel and Gaza, or the United States and Iraq, or whatever it may be. And so that's when the politics becomes an identity. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling on, but being in LA always makes me think about like identity and purposely, you know, the intent behind purposely trying to keep your identity small. Because the smaller you keep your identity, the less likely you are to hold irrational beliefs and ideas forever. The longer you grab to ideas and make them your identity, the harder it is to change with new information. Not really a journalistic video, although it does apply to journalism, because a lot of journalists become wrapped up in their identity as well. They start to see themselves maybe perhaps as activists over just journalists, or journalists that can only focus on a certain type of beat, whatever that may be. And remember that you have a choice in choosing what kind of identity you want to make. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Try to drink some warm water here. I'm so tired. You can click around for another video. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Bye.